Welcome back, fellas, to day 216 of becoming a millionaire. And if you guys don't know me already, my name is Daniel Diaz. I'm currently documenting literally every single day of me scaling our lead generation agency up to 40K a month. Probably past that because we're just built different and we work harder and want it harder than most of you guys out there. That's the truth. But if you're watching this video, hopefully you think the same way. And I'm basically here to kind of go over how we're actually getting our clients amazing results using just cold emails and how we are getting paid for it. And I'm going to go a bit deeper. I'm not just going to talk about results and, updates of the agency, but more so the strategy behind how we're actually getting the results that we're getting with cold email specifically, because that's all we do. That's what we've mastered. That's what we've spent the last 8 to 9 months learning and getting very, very good at. So I will give you a little update though, very short one before I get into it. If you guys want to stay. If you guys just want to skip ahead. Basically, we're 9 months into running this whole journey, and this month and last month we've got to our record MRRs. So we've been hitting our highest numbers lately, and this is also after cutting off a bunch of other clients. So as you guys can tell, we've been just working with 2 or 3 very close clients of ours that are paying us very well, and we're not focusing too much on like clientele. We have 2 or 3 that we're just servicing, and we're getting paid more than we were when we had 5 clients. So selection is very important. And this week we were able to book 5 appointments for one of our clients that was honestly struggling to get appointments. Last month we booked about like 4, which is horrendous. And this is with like at least 10 to 20K emails sent. But this week, August 1 to August 9th, we sent about 6K emails and we got about 5 calls booked. So we did more than we did last month. We're on track to hit about 15 to 20 appointments for this one client this month. So that's amazing. If he closes 1 to 3, we're going to be at least over, our agency will be over at least 10K easy. And we're getting there. Like, just wait. I remember when I first started this whole journey, that was like crazy to me. 10K a month. I want 10K a month. It's going to be life changing. But bro, we're getting closer every single day. It's just, that's what success is. Getting closer every single day, constant movement towards your goal, which is ultimately to become a self-made millionaire. Some people just half-ass their work. They're like, I do like 5 hours a day working on my agency. But bro, you gotta, if you want to be the 1% in your given niche, you have to put in insane numbers. You have to outwork everybody. You have to stand out. You have to be different, But most people don't want to be different. They just do the same thing that everyone else does because it's easy to emulate. Stand out. Okay? Stand out. Besides that, boys, we're absolutely cooking. My mind's been right. Body's been right. We're just trying to work as much as we can because we know we'll be traveling soon. First place we want to go to is Cape Town. We're probably going to head down to Bali. Probably something like Dubai. We have a lot of traveling to do, especially next year. But first, we're going to focus on defeating level 1 of the game, which is 10K a month. After that, we have to hire people on, probably form a team of killers, and then we'll just start scaling from there. 10K to 20K a month mark will be another boss to beat. But boys, we're on the right track. And most importantly, I love what I'm doing. So that was a big yap sesh. I'm about to just get into the video now. Let's get it. All right. Here we are. This is how we helped a sales consultancy unlock a scalable cold email engine and find PMF in 42 days. So if you guys have ran cold emails before, you guys will understand that sometimes it takes a while to actually get something repeatable, to get something scalable, and to get something that is consistently booking appointments for you. With this specific example, it took us 42 days to find product market fit. And what I mean by that is basically having an offer and having an ICP, these two combined, which generates an easy lead flow of interested people. So when you have product market fit, your inbox will just consistently be generating a bunch of leads. You'll have a bunch of positive replies every single day. There won't be too many stops, no more, not interested in your inbox. You'll just have a consistent lead flow coming in. And that's because the offer that you created and the ICP that you are targeting is responding very well, right? Sometimes you could have an offer that looks amazing to one ICP, but then you test it in another ICP and it's shit. So sometimes you have to kind of cross test a bunch of these offers, a bunch of these ICPs to actually find something that works for you. So let me dive in here. So Meet Blackwood. This is the company that we're currently running outbound for. So it's a sales consultancy, and they basically help tech companies build full funnel sales systems. So he already has, a bunch of work done. He has a bunch of clients he's working with through referrals, but he wanted something that actually, came in consistently. He wanted another way of generating leads that's just not through referrals, like most businesses want, correct? So we teamed up with him, and it didn't start pretty at all. But that's what makes a store valuable. So let's just get right into it. This is Gabe, handsome fella. So phase 1. They haven't really nailed product market fit. And that's kind of when I explained, they have an offer that works very well with one given ICP or ideal client profile. And so we launched a few assumptions. So we picked an ICP for him, which was tech companies, because that is where he used to those are the companies that he used to work with before. Just any broad tech companies, specifically AI, some SaaS companies. So we made up some offers, we made up some messages, and we made around 4 to 5 variations to test in his campaign. So typically how our structure works with a campaign, we would have like 5 variations for email 1. We would have 2 variations for sequence 1. All right, that's the first email that goes out. We would have about 5 different variations, and then for sequence 2, we would have 2 different variations, and then for sequence 3, we would have 2 more variations, and then that's when it would end. Some people go longer, some people do 5 sequence variations, but we found that sometimes gets annoying, and you honestly waste leads and you waste time focusing on leads that haven't automatically replied to that first email. So sometimes the energy investment on, launching new campaigns with new leads, new contact is higher leverage than just continuing to contact, those leads that you've tried reaching out to 3-4 times before already. So our ICP, we were targeting founders and CEOs at tech companies with some sort of signal. So this was like a revenue signal. This was a funded signal. This was a hiring signal. These signals on paper, they look very well. It's like a woman in a red dress. It looks sexy. But the thing is with this, you get a lot of saturated inboxes because these companies are being reached out to more frequently because of those public signals on LinkedIn. So when we first started, we were just doing like a bunch of signals because it looked sexy. Like, why wouldn't we want companies that have money, for example, or why don't we want companies that are recently funded, for example. So we did that and we got shit on. We got a lot of people that honestly just didn't reply just because their inbox was already being targeted by the same agencies, bro. So we digressed from that after we realized, but don't make the same mistake that I did, basically. So here are two examples of the copy that we ran, and it's honestly not the best. Like, looking back at this is nothing crazy. Like, it's honestly pretty dookie, and it didn't perform well either. So that's one, and that's two. Nothing crazy. And in the first 7 days of running these campaigns, we sent about 6,000 emails. We got 40 replies, about 14 showed interest, and 2 calls booked. One became a client for our client. So next day, they got added to Gabriel Slack, and we started delivering. But even with that win, the fit wasn't tight. The offer was way too broad. The messaging wasn't resonating, and we were getting a lot of negative replies. All right, so we need to do something fast, and that's what you need to do in cold emails. It's always about how quick you can pivot when you realize something is not working. Most people always fail in cold emails because they'll see that this offer is clearly not working, or this targeting, this ICP is clearly not replying well, and they'll just keep on doing the same thing. They'll keep on like doing everything else but fix the main problem. Bro will like go on LinkedIn or try to make his socials look better. That is important, but you will realize if something's not working just by looking at your inbox. Okay? You can't be blind. You have to be smart, basically. So we pivoted. Phase 2. After the first few thousand emails and early traction, we took a step back and asked, was this our true ICP? That's what cold emails are about. Something just went off, sorry. So in July, we launched a second wave of campaigns, this time experimenting new offers and kind of refining how we framed Blackwood, all right? So in our initial copy, we had a lot of moving parts. So we would mention the CRM, we would mention outbound, we would mention sales ops, we would mention SDRs, dashboard. It made sense to us, but for a cold prospect, it was just noise. And this goes back to psychology. Nobody gives a fuck about you or what you do in your emails. They give a fuck about how you can help them. So instead of selling the plane ticket, all right, you want to sell the vacation. So that's something that we try to do. We've shifted from selling the plane ticket and how you get there to the vacation and how nice it will be when you arrive there. Two different standpoints when you're writing cold email. Sorry, boys, I'm yapping too much here. So we kind of stripped it down a bit, and we didn't mention all of these different things here because this just confuses people, you know? And I myself get a lot of emails, and it's just people over-explaining their offer. Like, we'll do this for you, we'll do like this. And at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck because it doesn't, you know, how is this going to help me specifically? So we tested 5 new offers, and we were kind of getting more technical with things. So we then offered free value basically in our emails with this offer because it was a sales or an outbound system. So people are getting these types of messages every single day. So with these offers, we really have to try standing out. So we tried revenue growth scorecards and free custom calculators. And we actually had one offer one copy variation that performed very well and people actually liked it. But sometimes, here's the thing. If you have someone that likes your cold email outbound approach, it doesn't mean that they'll convert. So sometimes all this attention doesn't equal to money. because it's not effective. It just looks pretty. So here's what that looked like. After taking a look at your company on LinkedIn, Kevin, I created a custom calculator that estimates your current lead to close rate based on digital agency company benchmarks. I've already input your public data, which suggests you're potentially underperforming by 35% in lead to close rates. The calculator is yours to keep and share with your team, no strings attached. If the numbers surprise you, they surprise most founders to share this with, I'm happy to explain the methodology. If you'd like, I can send over the calculator and you can get a more accurate breakdown, sales scorecard, Loom, resources to keep and share with your team either way. Best, Gabe Fonseca, Gabe Blackwell Consulting. Boom, boom, cool. So here are 2 replies we got to that email. Great outreach approach. I don't even think we're at 35%. I'd be interested to hear more. And another one, can't remember responding to a cool email like this, but great personalization. I'll give it a try. So cool idea, right? Slick build, but no one booked because no one booked. Attention doesn't always equal to intent. That was our thesis, or that was the conclusion with this. So even with free value, results were compounding, but we were sending thousands a week and we still weren't hitting our benchmarks. A few replies, some interest, but nothing sticky. Here are a few more replies that we got using these offers, free value. So it wasn't bad. Absolutely wasn't bad. But it just wasn't keeping up to our standards. And we have honestly very high standards for cold email outbound. So we looked harder at the targeting again. And rather than just continuing to target founders and CEOs, we switched to more sales-focused titles, people that actually give a fuck about outbound and GTM, growth for this company, pipeline, etc. So VP of sales, sales manager, growth leaders, we added those people in. And they had a clear alignment, exactly. So they actually live with this problem every day. That's their job. They are in charge of these things at this company instead of just founders, which honestly have so many other thoughts and cares in mind. So the product market fit wasn't what we were looking for yet. And, we were getting some interested, but we were getting a bunch of objections about the scorecard, the effectiveness, and a bunch of other things just consistently. So when trying to crack an offer over outbound, you'll know when your offer is truly hitting your ICP. Replies and booking meetings will feel effortless, and lead flow will just continue to stack with more people you reach out to. That's what product market fit is. You don't have to keep on trying in your emails. You just have one thing that's repeatable, one offer, one type of variation that people love and people will just eat up, right? With one of our other clients, we have reached PMF with him already. Our inbox is just consistently flowing with positive leads all day, just from one offer that works. It doesn't take like 7 variations, right? It just takes one winning offer, one ICP that responds well to that offer, and you have product market fit. And it's just repeatable, right? Like we don't have to do anything else with that guy's campaign. It's just add more leads in and expand the TAM. So we went in deeper, and instead of just targeting tech companies, we targeted telehealth. And this is a niche inside of health tech. So we went into a deeper niche, we went into deeper targeting, and this is where we actually started to win. This is where we actually started seeing results for this one client of ours. And this is where we found message market fit, or PMF. So we simplified everything, all right? We were doing a bunch of like copy and we were focusing a lot on like the copy, making it look pretty. But instead of focusing on the copy, we just focused straight on like the offers itself. All right. So it was very short and direct, and we offered something very tangible. And this was basically an outbound script pack. So like I mentioned before, this is the copy that we used to find product market fit. So, hey name, we help X do Y using Z. This is a simple offer framework from Alex Hermosi. And basically it goes like, to show you it works, I've already written some outreach scripts for company name that you can use right away. No strings attached. Can I send them here? So we're just giving them something completely free. Imagine you're a CEO at a company and you have all of these worries on your mind, and you get an email from someone that does what you're worried about straight up giving you this free value, right? Like, how would you reply to that? It's just free value. It builds that trust. It shows our competency. It shows that we can do what we say we're doing instead of all of these other guys that just talk about themselves. So it's a pattern disruption, and that is what will help you get more meetings booked. Be different. No hard sell. Sorry, I'm out of breath from yapping, boys. After we respond positively, we get our team to make up a full outbound strat and send that to them in less than 1 hour. So we would reply to this after we get a positive reply. We spend a take time digging into your company, your model, target market, how likely you approaching outbound right now. Can I ask what it makes sense to set aside 15 minutes so I can walk you through the script and explain how they tie into what you're doing? Totally up to you. So this ripped for us. Absolutely ripped. We tested across health tech, telehealth to be specific, and B2B SaaS, and across founders, CEOs, VP of sales, and heads of growth. These people cared. And now we really start to feel the traction. This is very recently. So our inbox was just flooding with these companies. And we were just making these scripts all day long, man. Because it's a lot of people wanting scripts. And it's obviously in demand in this new niche that we were testing as well. And replies felt effortless. We didn't have to chase. We were just getting sure. The lead flow was stacking. More replies, more conversations, more meetings booked. We saw the clear winner and we doubled it down. So as soon as we saw that offer that was ripping the most, we kind of just added more variations like that offer that was ripping the most. So we started off with 5. Next thing you know, we cut it down to 2. And then with these 2, we added 2 more that have similar messaging to the first 2. And we were kind of just keep on stacking like this. Or if you want, you could cross test. But we just cracked the code with this one. So probably in the next few weeks, we're probably gonna look into some more offers to test and see if we can have one that outcompetes the other. And yeah, that's basically pretty much it, boys. It started off as a cold, underperforming outbound campaign, and we turned it into a scalable, repeatable system that is always booking for our client now. Sometimes it takes over 20 iterations to find a winning copy variation. And this helped them cut through the noise and find product market fit or message market fit. And we just started filling up his pipeline. We're getting paid very well for it. He's happy. And we're now getting results for all of our clients. So if you're a consultant or a B2B founder and you're interested in getting help with your outbound growth to add 30 to 50 meetings a quarter on your calendar, you can check us out there. I'll probably have a link in this video as well. If you guys want help with this at all, just comment down below. I'll reach out to you and we'll just kind of chat if you guys need any help. But that's pretty much it, boys. This is day 216 of becoming a millionaire. And this is, an example of what we're doing, not just progress or updates on service level, but this is more so like service delivery stuff. And hopefully this will help you guys in some way. Hopefully you guys get some ideas to take back to your partner or to your team. And hopefully this helps you get more meetings booked. But boys, God bless. Hope you guys have an awesome Saturday. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.